with a Proteus inverter, it'll cost them, let's say, 10 grand. You have to really want it. You can't totally justify it with cost. Battery era has arrived.
It has.
Rightio, Ben, this is going to be a fun one today. We're going to talk about the new Powerwall 3, the brand new Tesla battery, right?
Yeah.
3 weeks ago, I think they had their launch down in Sydney. I went down for that. Yeah. So such a nice event. We went touch and feel it, had a bit of a party with the lads as well,
No.
And they had a Powerwall 3 sitting there in a fish tank.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. And I'm like, what on earth is that about? It's flood-proof. So it can have, I think it's 600 mil of water. If your house gets flooded and the Powerwall's there, it's warranted for that. Cool. Like, it's insane, this product. But we also did training last Friday with the guys down at Pink and Bar at their delivery centre. Nice product, eh? I think it's a big step. Can you run through us what is it? What's the difference between Powerwall 2 and Powerwall 3?
Yeah. I mean, I guess, traditionally you need the solar inverter and then you need the battery. Tesla 3 simply is both together. So we're talking costs that we've never seen before at a quality that's arguably right at the top.
Yeah, I don't think it's an argument.
It might be the best. Yeah.
I really like the BYD Fronius combo.
Yeah.
But as far as quality goes, Powerwall 2 has been the best quality battery on the market. Right?
And now we've got both of them built in one and crazy prices.
In this situation, we're no longer Fronius only. For years and years, we've been only doing Fronius as a quality inverter. Now we're basically doing Fronius and Tesla. Tesla is our string inverter too.
I mean, we have to. It's the right call. It's really good. It's going to shake everything up, I think.
It is good. There are potential little issues with it. I haven't even got it yet, by the way. We're going to get it in a week or two, and I'm going to test it. We'll talk about the issues that the inverter might have, or I think they might have later. But let's step it back a little bit. If they're getting a solar system, why would they put a battery on it as well?
Yeah, okay. I guess in simple terms, the solar's there for the daytime. It's not going to work, at night. But at nighttime, you're obviously still needing power. The battery's there to grab any excess power that you've stored in the day or that you didn't need to use in the day to use at nighttime. So pretty much just using free power at night. The only way you can do that is with a battery.
Yeah. It's not totally free because you would have got 4 cents in to feed it in.
4 cents,
basically, that's free.
Yeah. And backup capabilities as well. But the primary one, is that. Yeah.
Reduce your power bill.
Reduce your power bill.
Use your solar power at night. Probably one big thing that I think I'm really liking about it is that now it's a one-stop shop. So I wasn't totally comfortable with the idea. I'm comfortable enough, but with the idea of going Gen 24 and BYD, because they're the two best products, I think, that were on the market that couple together as a solar system, right? The issue is they're two different products, and if there's a problem between them, then I've got to go back to two different companies to work out what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have gone just SunGrow. But no, you wouldn't do that, would you?
No, exactly. Yeah. I think that's the idea. And that's what Tesla now is so exciting for. The best option was to go to alternative companies, but now we can go the same company
and get the best quality. Yeah.
Again, huge.
So it really is one of those moments, I reckon. It was like in 2015 when Tesla brought out Powerwall 1.
Powerwall 1, yep.
That wasn't actually around, but that completely shook up the industry. Everyone started making batteries. It was a game changer in the industry. I feel like nearly 10 years later, maybe 9 years later or something like that, they've done it again, and
similar vibes.
They've really shook up the industry.
Yeah, they have.
And nobody is really liking it except for us and Tesla.
That's true.
When I say nobody, it's a challenge for Fronius. Yeah. It'll be a challenge for SunGrow and every other battery manufacturer.
For sure.
Because of the price of it now.
The price is the big one. We go on about it, but it is just cheap for how good it is. I think if you added a solar system on, say you did a traditional Fronius inverter system and you wanted to add a battery, so you take the inverter out, you're looking at about $11,000.
Okay, so if you quote someone on a solar system, let's say a 10 kilowatt solar system, just total round figures now, with a Fronius inverter, it'll cost them, let's say, 10 grand.
Yeah, sure.
Just for a round figure, right? Probably cheaper than that. If you take the Fronius out and you put the Tesla battery in there, because that's got the inverter in it, it'll be about 21.
Exactly, and that's your 11,000. And that's the big thing, that you take the inverter out to replace it with the inverter and the battery. That's why we're getting these numbers.
Yeah. Yep. Probably priced that high, actually. So we're talking under 20 grand, I think, in reality.
The difference is that number. Whatever the circumstances is, the roof line, whatever it is.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, so probably for under 20 grand, 10 kilowatt system, Tesla Powerwall, it's a pretty...
It sounds funny to say, but I haven't heard these numbers before. When you say it like that, and you're under 20,
I mean, you can.
Possible.
You can if you go and get some piece of garbage.
Oh, yeah.
battery that is going to burn your house down. You could get that price before, but it's really going to shake up those players where they'll still be cheaper, but gee, Tesla's come in really, really competitive.
For how good it is, exactly.
And, I guess there's a few reasons why that price has come down. Oh, by the way, when we're talking 11 grand, we're not talking about let's just go whack a Powerwall.
Oh, no. Right? No, this is, this is the difference price, I guess, If you want to just whack a Powerwall on, I suppose it would be 17,000 for the retrofit.
As a retrofit, yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You've already got a solar system. You bought a solar system off us or someone else a year or two ago or 10 years ago. Probably not the best solution in that situation. Yeah, still okay, but 17 grand, it's not cheap, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is more for you're starting your solar journey, you want to get the battery and the solar system in one go. This is where this really fills that niche.
Yeah. And the other thing I wanted to point out about that 11 grand, that's just a ballpark of our price, right? So don't hold us to that. We haven't even installed one yet. So, but at the same time, that might be a little bit higher to other people in the market because battery installs can be done differently, right?
Yeah.
When we do it, we change out all the RCDs, all the safety switches in the house because we want to upgrade them to the latest Type AC breaker. I think that's really important. I think it's complying with regulation. A lot of people skip that step, and that's an expensive part of it. So it really depends on what switchboard we're dealing with at that stage.
You're going to get to varying stuff for sure. But those numbers, like you say, RCDs, the backup too.
The backup's
a big one.
The backup's an interesting one. That actually makes it cheaper. The Powerwall 3 has made backup cheaper. How is that so?
So I think it's 10 kilowatt discharge as well.
Yeah.
So instead of most batteries of this size, like if you look at the BYD, it's 13 kilowatts. We're looking at a 5.6 kilowatt discharge. Tesla's at a massive 10 kilowatts. So you can just back up the whole house, and that's so much easier.
So that's So if we went back, let's say we're installing these all the time. If we go and install one, we don't want to put your hot water system on there, and air conditioner on there, and your oven on there. Because you might just trip the battery, and that's going to be really annoying. Where we don't want phone calls on the weekend when your power's out. So we separate your switchboard into, this is your backup circuits, and this is the non-essential backup circuits.
Yeah.
Doing that work is a fair bit of work, fair chunk of work for a Sparky to separate that, and we might need different boards.
Yeah.
Now we just back up the whole house and advise you that if you're in a blackout, go and turn your hot water system off.
Pick the one.
And don't use your oven, So that's another reason that's just made it cheaper.
Yeah.
Cheaper and better.
And better. I was going to say it's not just about cheap. It's just better to have that much to be able to draw from your battery as well.
Yeah.
10 kilowatts is quite a bit.
One downside, single phase at the moment, right?
I know. That's the only thing really missing at the moment. It is single phase, so single phase only essentially.
Yeah. I mean, that'll change in the future.
Yeah. And I mean, it's 90% of houses now are a single phase anyway, but it's still a point to bring up. That's its downside. And it will change, like you say.
And it is possible to install it on a 3-phase home.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait until we understand the regulations and everything like that. But I don't think it's going to be as practical for a 3-phase home. Is the short of it.
Yeah. For now. This may change, but that's best advice for now.
Yeah. When we start installing them and see regulations, we'll have to update this video, I guess. So, wanted to talk about one issue that I potentially see with it. Tell me whether you think this is a big issue. So I always bang on about the Fronius, that I love it, and I've tested it compared to every other inverter.
Yeah.
And only Fronius and SMA as string inverters work really well in the shade.
Yeah.
Because of this thing they have called a global maximum power point tracker, or shade fix. It's got this algorithm in it that just, when it's shaded, it squeezes the most power out of the solar panels, and it really does make a big difference. Tesla doesn't have that.
It is a downside, I suppose, with that. I mean, we've got 3 inputs to work with. It's going to have to be dependent on the situation and the type of shade and ways you can overcome it, I guess. It's going to be case by case.
It will be interesting. I didn't publish this because it was really confusing, but I did a test a few years ago with GoodWe inverter with 3 trackers versus a Fronius with 2. And the Fronius outperformed.
Oh, wow.
Even though the GoodWe had 3 trackers. Yeah. So it's going to be really interesting, that test, to see whether Fronius will still somehow outperform, even though it's only got 2 trackers.
Yeah.
Because it's got this shade algorithm in it, That's only for a situation where you're really shaded, right?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And it's probably a lot of shade too, or a reasonable amount of shade.
I'll have to see how the testing goes, but I think the Fronius algorithm, the MPPT in it, is going to be good enough. And if you have 3 strings, it'll probably work.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I was kind of thinking of the analogy, global maximum power point tracker was a big deal for Fronius, I think, and it set it apart. But now it feels like we've changed in an era, and it feels like we've gone. I was saying to you before, it feels like we've gone from Nokia phones to smartphones.
Yeah.
And complaining that my brand new Apple smartphone isn't as good as my old Nokia.
Yep.
Because if I drop my Nokia, it doesn't crack. You know, it's like
it's a good analogy. It works. Yeah.
you know, I mean, I think I can get over my bandwagon about GBBT with all the features that we do have with the Powerwall. So. So it's a big day. You know, people always pay me out that saying I'm a Fronius fanboy, and I'm like, when something else better comes on the market, you know, I just follow what's best on the market.
Yeah, that's it. And this is that
time.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I didn't think it would come so soon. I thought SMA would take the throne actually.
Yeah,
but,
okay.
Yeah, what do you reckon, Ben? Big moment?
It is a big moment. I think it's come at also an important time too. We've got such a good product at such a good price in a time where feed-ins are dropping, like the lowest they've been and going down, and power prices are going up. So the economics of the battery is really good right now. And we've got this really good product. Both of them, you know, coming together in a catalyst for just a really exciting time. We have to see how it goes, but it's making a lot more sense, and we have a really good product to help do it.
I think, and I get the question all the time from friends or whatever people I meet and go, would you install a battery? And I think both of us have been a little bit on the sort of, it's getting there. It's kind of getting to the point with the BYD system or the Tesla Powerwall, but you have to really want it. You can't totally justify it with cost.
You're right. Yeah, spot on.
I think we've tipped that point. Well, here's a question. Would you put one on your plate?
I would, yeah. I think that's an easy one for me now. I would do it.
Yeah.
And if I do it, I'm much more comfy in talking to people about it as well. I think that I've always been ethical, and I've talked, you and I have talked out of batteries for a long time, but I would get one and I would do it.
It's time.
It's time.
The battery era has arrived.
It has.
So
we'll announce anyways. We'll make that call.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Heath.
We'll maybe chat more once I've done some testing, eh?
Sounds good. Thanks so much.